All right, you guys, welcome into another episode of Artists on Deck. My name is Morgan Tompkins. Thank you so much for being here. Very excited. I got one of my good friends on the show today. The amazing, talented, incredible Maddie Poppe is here joining us. Maddie, how are you?
Oh my gosh, what a nice intro. I'm so happy to be here. I am honored. My dad was asking me, I told him I had a couple things to do today.
Yeah.
He said, "Oh, with who?" I said, "Oh, well, this guy from Radio Disney." He said, "Oh my gosh, that's pretty cool." Well, you're not with Radio Disney anymore, are you?
No, not anymore. They shut the doors. But
wait, what?
Yeah, it closed down.
What?
Yeah.
I thought you were just leaving for like another thing.
No, well, they literally announced it at the end of the year that they were shutting the whole thing down. So it doesn't even exist anymore. Yeah, that was my face too.
What a way to start this episode.
The what?
I said, what a way to start this episode.
We're starting at so anyway, then I got fired, and then now I'm unemployed, and the pandemic's going on, and
Dude, we have so much in common though, because I got dropped from my record label last May. So like we're in the same boat, dude. I get it.
We get it.
Out there. It's nice to know, like, when you look around, you know what it's like look around, like you just got like dumped.
Yeah.
And you're looking around like other people are like super like popping off. You're like,
for sure.
What? Like, what is going on with my life? So it's like, I don't mean to say it's like reassuring, but it's just like nice to see like, oh, I'm not the only one.
No, it's me too. It's us. We're in it together. And it's just on top of like what's been just like kind of a shitty year, like with this on top of it, it was like, oh, perfect. That was perfect. Cherry on top.
Mark, you are awesome. And he hosted my album release party, and you've always been a great host and interviewer, and you're gonna be just fine. What are you doing now?
I appreciate you very much. I am continuing to do stuff with the LA Dodgers, so I host for them. Hopefully we'll be able to get back in season with fans in the stands, because that's obviously been a thing. So doing that and trying to get my own stuff off the ground, which leads us to this little show that I'm trying to get off and trying to get going, and I'm just trying to find a way to continue the journey, even if it's just kind of on my own for a while. And like I was saying, it's like the guy on the side of the road, like, who's broken down. If he's like pushing his car, you're more likely to be like, oh, I'm going to help this guy out, instead of just like sitting in his car waiting for something to happen.
That is a great analogy.
I probably butchered it. I don't know if I said it right, but it's
that is like, wow. That's like my life right now. Like, wow, I need to start pushing my car.
It has not been easy though. I have to tell you, like it takes a while to get there, because like after you have a big change, it's like, I just want to like, I want to chill. And for a long time, like I didn't have motivation to do anything. And then like you add the fact that we're all like at home, and I don't ever have to change out of sweatpants ever. And so it's like, you add that on top of it. I'm wearing slippers, and it's just business on top.
Morgan, we are literally like going through the same thing right now, because just you saying that, like it's just like, it's inspiring. Like, because I'm like, okay, like you are like so successful and like a big name, and like everybody knows you. And so like the fact that like, I don't know, you just said like you lost motivation and you didn't feel like doing, like, I felt like that for so long. And I'm just like, is there anybody else out here who feels this way? And so it's very, I hate to say reassuring. I hate to be like, hey, thanks for,
hey, I feel crappy too sometimes. It's all good.
Yeah, I'm glad you feel bad. That makes me feel good.
We do. And I think it's something that like so many more people are going through right now than like on average, just because of the state of everything right now. And people are, the job industry's, in the toilet, and people are losing their jobs, and everyone's stuck at home. And so it's just like, and it's okay to feel like that. And I feel like it's just like, it's all right to just kind of have those days. And, I was even talking to my fiance the other day.
Or those months.
Or those years, Let's talk in 2025, and we'll see if we're still in there after that time. Then we might need to do something at some point.
Oh, seriously.
Oh my gosh. No, you are in good company, my dear. We are all, just trying to navigate this whole thing, and whatever life throws at us, we just got to just keep chugging away. But, we're here now, and we're talking, and that's a good thing.
Yes.
And so How have you been? I know you're back. You're in Iowa, right? You're back with the fam.
Yep, I am.
So are you normally in LA and then you kind of go back and forth, or how's it usually work?
Well, I don't actually no. I just bought a house here, which is like
Hey,
I'm like Iowa. I know, like everyone tells me like you can't be in Iowa. What are you gonna do in Iowa? It's like no, my family's here, and like they're my homies. They're my like best friends. I can't like
yeah,
I don't feel at home when I'm not with them, and like family is such a huge deal to me that when I go, it works
yeah,
because when I was with my label, I would go out to LA for 2 months at a time and just grind for 2 months. Like,
yeah,
okay, I have to go 2 months because I feel like if I lived in LA, I would say, oh, I live in LA. Like, I don't have to do anything because I'll be here for the next year. So I'll get
right,
around.
right.
So it worked for me because I'm not a very motivated person all the time. And, when I need to be, it's like, okay, you know,
Right. But
yeah.
I would argue that like now more than ever is a time where I feel like that is so doable because
Oh, yeah.
of all the stuff, all the bad stuff that happened in 2020, I feel like it really did show so many people how much they can do from a remote location. Just like me and you having an interview right now, you doing a performance, a live stream. So I would argue now is probably the best time for you to be able to be out of LA and just kind of have that clear head for a bit.
I agree. And this whole like, yeah, like you said, like so much bad came from it, but I feel like maybe some good came from
Yeah.
it. Like, no one, I didn't even know what Zoom was before,
Right. Yeah.
you know, when nobody was doing live streams or like, you weren't able to make money doing a live stream from your living room. And now I feel like it's like opened a lot of those
Yeah.
doors there. And it kind of worked in my favor because I'm like, oh, sweet. So I can live at home now.
Yeah. And you get to be close to your family right now, and that's always a good thing, especially as better than anybody. Being in LA for too long can just be a little bit much. You actually have a song about it, right?
I
Nothing
do.
good
I
comes
do.
out of
Oh
California.
my gosh. Pitch perfect.
You
So
know,
great.
that's what they say. That's what they say. Um, yeah. So how's everything been as far as music? Has it been tough to kind of stay motivated with music while we've been home? Like we were saying, I think it goes with every job, but music, especially being such a creative, thing that is in a lot of ways driven from experience and out in the world. And I feel like so many of us are just kind of in our bubble right now. Has that been kind of a difficult thing to navigate for you?
For sure. That you just like hit the nail on the head like 10 times. Um, yes, I was just talking to someone today. I said it's so hard to write a song because I write so much about personal experience and I haven't had any experiences this past year
Right.
except on my couch.
Yeah.
And it's also hard to stay motivated because it's like, okay, first of all, like I've done that whole writing session through Zoom thing and it's so hard. It's
Yeah.
like not the same. Obviously, it's not the same, but it's really hard to
Yeah.
stay focused when I've got all these other distractions, but I'm trying to focus on writing a song with this person on this little tiny phone,
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but also the other part of it is the unknown, like not knowing when is the world going to go back to normal
Right.
because I thought it was going to be last summer. I thought it was going to be a couple months and then we'd get back. And when we didn't get back, I'm like, well, maybe it'll be in the fall. Well, we didn't get back in the fall. So then we all thought, oh, by the new year,
Yeah.
everything will change because COVID just goes away when it's January 1st.
Right. Yeah.
Um, and then that didn't happen. It's made me lose like hope in it. I'm just like, okay, I don't even know when I can go out and do anything again. So it's just like making me, yeah, it's
Yeah.
like I don't want to release a song right now because I can't go and promote it.
Right.
I can't go touring and playing shows, so I don't know. It's kind of it's a confusing time, I think, for
Yeah.
everyone.
It is, and I'm sure, like you said, you being an artist, I mean, there's so much that goes into putting a song out, as with the writing and the recording and the releasing, and then ultimately, playing it live for the fans. And you know, like you said, there's a lot of that we just can't do right now. And I feel like you're an artist that really appreciates kind of the end part of that, of playing for the fans and kind of getting that feel and everything that comes out of your music. So I would imagine it must be a little bit weird to kind of put out music and have it not feel like a complete process, you know, because you don't kind of have that final playing for the fans, that big kind of payoff, you know, that you would get from that.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
So, you know, I would imagine there are some challenges to that. But in the meantime, the great news is you have some incredible fans that, you know, love you so much. And it's cool to see when, you know, you log onto your, you know, social pages, or when you do a live stream or whatever it is, just like how much love like you get from, you know, your fans out there. Just like tell me a little bit about that dynamic and the relationship that you have with your fans, and, you know, kind of leaning on them, especially in times you probably, you know, need them just like they need you.
Yeah. They keep me going, man. You know, like when I feel like my lowest, like, oh my gosh, I'm like not doing anything and I'm not like successful right now. What do I, you know, and then I you know, we'll get a random message from somebody, or, you know, you'll see somebody posted a picture of you with like a really nice caption, or, you know, commented, or yeah, that I think that also, like, I tend to overshare. I tend to wear my emotions on my sleeve. Like, you always know, like, it's very hard for me to conceal anything. You know what I mean? I'm very honest and very open, very blunt. And I think they also get that from me. And maybe I overshare a little bit too much, but I think that they feel like, you know, sometimes I feel like they're like friends, kind of like family, instead of like, oh, these fans. I think there's a lot of people who, you know, have these walls up, like, okay, they're only going to get music and then this here and there. But I think maybe sometimes I have like, I'm like, okay, I'm getting a little too breaking down the wall a little too much, you know? But I don't know, they have always had my back. And, you know, anytime like they rally for me, it's crazy. Like, when I have a single out or something, they'd be calling every radio station around. When I was up for that People's Choice Award, like, they were voting every 5 seconds, you know. It's like, I don't know, they always have my back. And I can always, like, I sometimes I'm like, oh, I haven't put anything out in so long, does anyone even care anymore? And then I put out my Christmas album, and then I see these same familiar faces and familiar usernames coming up, and that they're listening to it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you're still here. That's so cool.
Yeah. And you know, and like I said, that's like they're on your journey through the ups and the downs, just, you know, just like we talked about, you know, whether it's the change of the label, or whether it's, you know, a bit of a breather because you needed it, you know what I mean? Like, they're always going to be there for you. And so I would imagine that gives you a little bit more reassurance in the times that aren't as certain that come with this music industry.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because it's hard to be in a position where it's like, okay, I have songs that I really want to release, but I don't have a record label, you know, to market them and release them. And I feel bad because I'm like, oh my gosh, these people who have rallied for me so much and, you know, really want to be part of this, I don't have anything to give them right now. And I feel bad about that a lot of times. But I think that, you know, I think that they understand more than we think. You know what I mean? I think that a lot of times you think that people just see you as, you know, not really human, just kind of, you know, the girl who won American Idol.
Yeah.
And, but I don't think that's always the case. You know, I think we always tend to think the worst, I think, but, but I think they're very understanding and always, I don't know, always have my back. And even when I'm like, they're not just those people who are like, want to jump on the bandwagon when you're having success, or like, oh, now that she won American Idol, I better like be her fan because I can say, oh, I knew her when, or whatever. It's like, no, they're you know, some people just drop out when you don't have a song on the radio anymore. But you know, there's so many of them who are still there. Like when I haven't released anything in so long, and they know like I'm kind of down in the dumps, not really doing anything right now, and they're still here and still cheering me on, I guess.
Yeah. And would you say that, you know, with the change of label last year and all the kind of changes that come with that, you know, could it be one of those things where it's a blessing in disguise because now you get to kind of take a step back, reset, kind of reevaluate where you're at, what you want to do? I mean, has it been a kind of a time for personal growth for you as far as your music and kind of where you see it going next for the next chapter?
Absolutely. Yeah. That man, everything you're saying, I'm just like, yes, yeah, we're good.
We can have weekly meetings if you want, because I get just as much out of it as you do.
I'm just like, is this guy reading my mind? But yes, for sure. Since it happened, oops, I'm sorry. Can you still see me?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. My battery or my phone just like alerted me. But since getting dropped, like it was like a total shock. Like right away, it was out of the blue.
Yeah.
Like sitting on this contract, ready to release these songs, and then it just happened out of the blue, and it was totally like I was so in shock. But immediately I was like, okay, I have to see the silver lining in this, and not even I have to, I just did. Yeah. I was just like immediately, you know, this is it's okay. There is this is happening for a reason, and I try to see every bad situation like that. I try to see, okay, why is this happening? And you know, I know that this, you know, it's meant to be, you know, this is supposed to be happening. And as much as it sucks right now, and as much as I have no clue what's about to happen in my life, you know, I always try to think like someday I'm gonna look back and know that this was a good thing.
Yeah. And did you feel like any sort of like, I guess, burnout after the whole Idol stuff kind of started to wind down? I mean, that was such a crazy experience. I mean, even just me personally kind of witnessing it from afar. I mean, me and you would talk every week after those live shows, and then, you know, everything that went on after that. I mean, we drove you to the plane that flew you to Good Morning America overnight, and just like going from like that level of just like craziness to everything that led after. I mean, there has to be kind of like some sort of like a breath after all of that, right?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. And then you guys followed me around with a camera for like weeks.
That sounds creepy. I did not follow you around with a camera, but yes.
You were not, but it was two other people. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I need this. I thank you, but I need this done. I can't do that. You know, it was like, I felt like I was turning from a human into just like, okay, now you're just like in this new lifestyle, and like, you're a different person now. But yeah, I think, I mean, that was crazy, and I'm so grateful for everything. And it was such a fun time, but it was so exhausting and so for sure. I remember like 2 days after the show ended, I was back in LA, and they were like, okay, we're doing a music video now, and we're doing this, and you have this. I mean, it was every day, it was constant.
Yeah.
And I remember calling my dad, just bawling, like, I can't do this. I don't know what I'm doing, and this is so hard. And you know, but I got through it, and it was a lot of fun. There's stuff I don't even remember because it was just go.
You guys did the tour too. I keep forgetting you guys did the Idol tour after that as well, and
47 cities
in a bus all over the damn country. Like I was like, oh my gosh, they went everywhere.
That was the most well, we went everywhere except Iowa and Georgia.
Of course.
You know, the top two home states, or you know, Maddie and Caleb's home states. But we went to 47 other places. So
that's amazing.
That was a blast though. That tour was so fun because it was just kind of a joke. It was just like, okay, it's the American Idol tour. Like, we're just gonna have fun. It's not like, oh, I'm representing myself as an artist. It's like, no, you're Maddie Poppe, American Idol. You're not Maddie Poppe, singer-songwriter. Like, people want to see you be cutesy with Caleb. And
Yeah.
it was so fun. I was just like, okay, I go play 3 songs and they want to hear Bare Necessities, and here we go.
Just quiet down and be cute over there with your guy, all right?
Exactly.
Oh man. Well, that was fun. I mean, I was just, reflecting on what a pun intended, I guess, whirlwind that must have been after that whole thing. So I understand why the album was justly named that. But yeah, I mean, I just, it's been cool to see you grow and, everything that's happened again, from fans' perspective, I'm sure your family's perspective, my perspective, just getting to kind of see it all unfold. I just know that, the best is yet to come because you're just insanely talented and you're a good human being. And I, believe that good things happen to those kinds of people. So we're very excited to see what's next for you. And I know it's going to be good stuff.
Well, thank you, Morgan. That's so sweet. Well, it's so good to see you. And yeah, it's been a while.
I know it has been. Well, like I said,
but I say same to you. I really feel like you have been so successful, and there's no doubt that you land on your feet, and that you're just going to continue to have success. And I know that so many people, admire you and look up to you, and just little things that you've said to me just in the past 15 minutes are just like inspiring, like, to know that like someone who I like look up to is like going through the same thing as me. It's like reassuring to know, like, okay, like there's actually some people who are like actual humans out there and are willing to share their story and not just like sugarcoat everything. You know what I mean?
Sure. I mean, and like you said, it's go on social media. Everyone's life is great, but whether it's a relationship or a label or a job or whatever it is, it's like someone at some point has had to overcome a loss and had to kind of figure out how to pick the pieces up and be like, okay, I know that wasn't all I was, but it kind of felt like it, and now I need to kind of figure out who is Maddie, who is Morgan without that thing, and figure out kind of the new version of us and how we kind of keep plugging away at it and continue just to each time get a little bit more authentic and a little bit more closer to who we want to be in the future. And we just keep going. So, it's all good. And, I'm always here if you need anything, or if you just need to vent or scream to the other end of the phone, you just let me know.
Well, thank you, Morgan. That is so nice of you to say. And thanks for having me. Thanks for
thinking. Of course.
Like when you hit me up, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Like he wants me on his show.
No, I'm so excited because it's not much of a show yet. I'm hoping it will turn into one, but just the ability to be able to, have a great conversation with someone that I admire, I think is worth it all. So thank you for your time, and, wish you the best. And now it won't be years before we catch up again. All right, let's try to catch up here in a couple weeks, couple months, something like that.
Yes. And hopefully by that time we're both like, yeah, can you believe where we were?
Exactly. Yeah. You just have to promise I get to host your next album release party, okay?
Yes.
I will fly my ass to Iowa if I need to. You just let me know what time.
Oh, yeah. Buy your ticket. Okay. No, yeah. Oh my gosh, I'd love to have another little album release party.
Let's do it. I know you got some great things on the way. Please send my best to your fam and the ever amazing Caleb Lee Hutchinson. We love you guys, and we'll chat real soon. All right.
Well, thanks so much, Morgan. You take care, and I'll talk to you soon.
Bye, Maddie.
Bye.